At some point in the early 2000s, every kid on Earth thought they were one small step away from being recruited by some secret government agency that hires kids to be spies. I blame Spy Kids, Agent Cody Banks, Codename Kids Next Door, and Totally Spies for that, proudly. And Kim Possible too, but I've already talked about Kim Possible in another video here, which you can go watch. Because growing up, being a kid wasn't just about juice boxes and crayons, it was about rocket-powered sneakers, lasers inside of a pen, and your phone being a secret spy communicator to your man in the chair. That was the dream. We didn't just play pretend, we had full operations, walkie-talkies, check, secret hand signals. Obviously, I remember me and my friends created our own language. We can't just let everyone hear our plans to defeat the lunch lady who we knew for certain had some evil scheme going on. And it wasn't just about the action. These shows and movies made being a kid feel powerful. Adults didn't get it. Our parents were worried about our grades while we were trying to infiltrate the enemy headquarters and disable the evil computer chips they put in all the school computers to take over the kids' minds. Priorities, mom. Today, we're taking a mission down memory lane to revisit the golden age of kids' spies, the stylish chaos of Totally Spies, the high-tech wonder of Spy Kids, the teen cool of Agent Cody Banks, and the organized rebellion of Kids Next Door. Get your gadgets ready, put your sunglasses on, and welcome to Operation Nostalgia. Okay, let's start with the one that kicked the whole Spy Kid craze into high gear. Spy Kids, the movie that made every single kid believe that their parents were secretly working for the government. Spy Kids dropped in 2001 and immediately changed the game. It was directed by Robert Rodriguez, the same guy who made Desperado and Machete, and then casually decided, you know what, let's throw kids into a full-on international espionage plot with mutant TV puppets and gadgets that slap, and somehow it just worked. Yet Carmen and Junie Cortez, two regular siblings who find out their parents are retired spies, get thrown into full-blown danger and end up saving the world from a guy named Floop who runs a cursed-looking children's show. It was weird, it was odd, especially at the time because of those thumbs. It was creative at the same time, and as a kid, it made perfect sense. Now watching it is a little crazy, but back then, that's all that mattered. And those gadgets were legendary. I mean, you had like exploding bubblegum, x-ray glasses, jetpacks, a full-on submarine house, and the microwave that could print out a cheeseburger like it was an Amazon package. That thing alone made me believe that the future was going to be amazing. But sadly, the future is here now, and the flying cars are not here yet. And Spy Kids 2 said, all right, let's get weird as if it wasn't weird enough. They're flying on piggyback beetles, fighting skeleton warriors, and meeting a mad scientist played by Steve Buscemi, who casually drops a line so deep it deserves its own TED Talk.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Like, I want to know what was going through whoever's mind on whoever wrote that line, because for it to be in a kid's movie and be that deep is the funniest thing ever. Then there was Spy Kids 3D, which was in, as you guessed it, 3D, and it was basically shot in a, I guess, I don't know, Roblox server. It was 98% green screen. The sky, the floor, the air they were breathing was all green screen, and it was low budget as hell, but we didn't care. We were in the theater with those red and blue 3D glasses losing our minds. Y'all remember when 3D glasses were red and blue? Now they're just like one color. Like real D3D is just like polarized filters, but they used to be red and blue, and they look so cool because in the movie it started out not 3D, and like to get into the game they tell everybody, all right, put your 3D glasses on. It was cool. It was like you were part of the mission with them. Elijah Wood was in the movie and showed up out of nowhere, said 5 words, and then got deleted like an email draft. Sylvester Stallone played every villain. It was chaos. It was beautiful. It was confusing. It was great. I don't know how he got so many like big name actors in all of these movies, which is so funny to me. It was all part of that like same wild DIY low budget fantasy era, like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Everything looked like it was edited on Windows Movie Maker, but as kids, I mean, we thought it was the coolest stuff ever. Don't get me started on the cameos. We had George Clooney, Danny Trejo, Antonio Banderas. It was a spy movie made by your cool uncle who somehow knew every Hollywood A-lister and had $5 to shoot the whole thing, but made it work. That's what these Spy Kids movies were. Were these movies good at the time? Absolutely. They were bangers. They go in the S tier of movies. They were peak childhood entertainment. Are they still good today? Hell no. But are they fun to rewatch with friends and make fun of while secretly loving every second of it? 1,000%, 1,000%. Now, if Spy Kids was the fantasy of being a spy with your family, Agent Cody Banks was all about flying solo. This movie dropped in 2003 and gave us teenage James Bond energy with a side of awkward puberty. Cody Banks is a totally normal high school kid, except, you know, he's secretly a CIA operative trained to break bones, drive like Vin Diesel, and save the world all before his curfew, before the streetlights came on. He was basically the perfect government agent until you asked him to talk to a girl. Like, this kid could leap off a rooftop, disable a missile with chewing gum, but then if you put him next to Hilary Duff, he'd malfunction like a broken Roomba. And yes, Hilary Duff was also in this movie. This was peak Lizzie McGuire era, which meant half the audience showed up for a team spy action and the other half was just like, I want to see Hilary Duff. The gadgets, I mean, they were awesome. Every one of these movies had some type of gadget that you wish you had in real life. They were amazing. The backpack, the built-in rockets, explosive chewing gum, once again, a pin that turns into a grappling hook, all the standard issues CIA stuff that we were convinced was just sitting in a locker room at our middle school waiting for us to be chosen. We knew that was a gateway to get into the secret labs. Then came Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London, which is my personal favorite. I love this movie. I had this movie on DVD. We'll watch it all the time on my portable DVD player. Y'all remember portable DVD players? That was crazy time. Agent Cody Banks 2, Destination London is where things went from an American spy fantasy to a full-on international chase. I mean, Cody gets sent to a British spy academy, adopts a fake accent for maybe 5 minutes. Was it good? Not really. To me, was it good? Yes. If you look at the audience score versus the critic score, my audience score gives it like a 90%. It was very entertaining. I loved it. Anthony Anderson was also in his movies. He was like his handler. It was very funny. They went all in on the goofy for this sequel. The energy was there. It was gadget filled. There were school buses, exploding yo-yos, exploding like gum in people's mouths to break tubes out. There was fighting. It was a great movie. Lots of one-liners. It was amazing. Now look, I don't care what anyone says. Frankie Muniz as a spy made sense. This was peak every teen actor has a secret second life energy. He was Malcolm in the Middle, an elite CIA agent in the range. Like, he was Hannah Montana, and then there was Miley Stewart, who was just a normal kid. In the grand scheme of spy movies, this movie had stunts, awkward flirting, cool gear, and the vibe of every Disney Channel original movie turned up to 11. And for a brief moment, we all wanted to be recruited. Let me rephrase. We might still want to be recruited, some of y'all, because let me rephrase again. We don't want to be recruited, but we do want the gadgets. And that's why they made spy gear. Y'all remember those spy gear toys? I had one. They had like a door lock. They had like a wristwatch communicator that I think it was a walkie-talkie. And then they had, what else did they have? Like lasers. Spy gear was so cool. Then spy gear toys came out around the same time as all this movies and TV shows. Okay, now that we talked about those two, let's talk about my favorite one, which is Codename Kids Next Door. Now, this wasn't just a show, it was a whole movement. This series took every kid's fantasy of fighting back against bedtime, broccoli, and school uniforms and turned it into a legit spy agency with a global reach. And the best part, the agents were just like us, except they had rocket-powered skateboards, tree houses with laser defense systems. Like the K&D, the Kids Next Door, were a secret organization of child operatives all fighting the tyranny of adulthood and sometimes teenagers. And when I say they had villains, I mean like real evil dentists, which is hilarious. They had evil dentists, authoritative figures, the delightful children from down the lane who were basically suburban cult members, and their boss, a literal dude named Father. That's just how serious they were. Each agent had a code name. There was number 1, which is spelled number, not number. There was number 1 through 5 for the group that we followed. And because there was numbers, that unlocked something in all of us as kids. Suddenly, every kid in real life had a number 2. You were number 7, then there was number 2 in the class, and then there was number 22. It didn't matter. My number, I always wanted to be number 11. It's always been my favorite number, so that made sense to me. And if you knew someone that tried to take your number, it was a war. Okay, once again, let's talk about the real reason why we all want to join the Kids Next Door. The gadgets, or as they call them, 2x4 technology weapons. This wasn't some polished, sleek spy gear like in Mission Impossible. No, these were kids-built weapons out of junk, duct tape, and unexplainable jowl genius, and of course 2x4 wood. And ironically, these tools work better than any tool you'd see in real life. Like, you need a shrink ray? Cool. Just mash up a hair dryer, a paper towel roll, and a Game Boy. You want to fly? Slap some cardboard wings on a lawn chair and attach soda bottles. They had slingshot submarines, weaponized ice cream, a cheese launching tank, and some kind of mech suit made entirely out of cafeteria trays. It was the kind of tech that made you look at your own junk drawer and go, I mean, maybe I could build a hovercraft out of this. 2x4 technology turned every kid's messy room into a potential armory, and most of us failed at trying to make these weapons. Keyword, most of us. I successfully built them. Ask any of my college roommates, they will tell you. Maybe I should take that part out. And operating all this chaos, there was Sector 5, the GOAT team of the K&D, made up some numbers 1 through 5 once again, so let's break them down. We got number 1, who was Nigel Uno, the fearless, bald British leader, straight-laced, mission-focused, and somehow had the respect of every K&D operative, giving Kid Nick Fury before it was cool. He was the blueprint for serious protagonist energy. There was number 2, who was played by Hoagie, not played by, he is Hoagie, that is his name. He's the inventor, he's the smart guy, the pilot, the pun machine. Every episode he was building a jetpack out of junk mail and launching himself into battle. He also had a little brother, and he also loved chili dogs. There was number 3, Cookie Sanban, the happy-go-lucky heart of the team. On the surface, she's bubbly and all about rainbows and her rainbow monkey collection, but mess with her squad and suddenly she's drop kicking giant robots like it's nothing. She had a deceptively unhinged energy and was absolutely ready to snap. Number 4, Wallaby Beetles. He is the hot-headed brawler who was always ready to throw hands even if the plan was to sneak in quietly. He had Short King syndrome in like the best way. He was not always the sharpest tool in the box, but his loyalty and pure rage made him a beast on the field. Number 5, Abigail Lincoln, the strategist, the coolest, the calmest, most capable member of the squad. She had style, she had braid, she had zero time for nonsense. Number 5 was basically the older sister energy the team desperately needed. If anyone deserved their own spinoff, it was her. And she had an older sister played by like Cree Summer, who was evil and was a teenager. Teenagers are evil. Y'all remember Battle Ready Armor, which is basically just a bra. But together they were unstoppable. Each one had their own personality and role on the team, and they balanced each other out perfectly. You had brains, brawn, heart, chaos, and leadership all packed into a bunch of preteens living in a giant treehouse that we all wish we got a tour of. And the world building, there was international divisions, undercover missions, there was decommissionings when you turned 13, which was like this traumatic galactic K&D. They had lore. This was the MCU before Marvel had a plan. Codename Kids Next Door made you feel like you were part of something real, like your backyard might be a secret mission hub, like your squad was a strike team, like your lunchbox might contain a laser cannon. Was it chaotic? Yes. Were the adults all villains? Definitely, but it gave us a feeling that we were in charge, that being a kid wasn't just about waiting to grow up, it was about fighting back now. To this day, I'll always be number 11. Let me know in the comments what your number was if you were part of the Kids Next Door. I know I'm still a part of the Kids Next Door, in my heart at least, you know. So what was your number? Also, give this video a like and subscribe if you're still watching. Really appreciate y'all. Last one for today is Totally Spies. Totally Spies is like if Charlie's Angels went to the mall and picked up glitter bombs and spy lipstick on the way to fight crime. And I say that with nothing but respect. This show followed 3 teen girls, Sam, Clover, and Alex, who juggled high school, shopping, and full-time international espionage like it was just another extracurricular, and somehow they always managed to save the world and make it back to class before the bell rang. Their missions were ridiculous, and I mean that in the best way. One episode they're fighting an evil fashion designer, the next they're in space battling a villain who turns people into bouncy balls. The plots made absolutely no sense, but it was glorious. Let's talk about the real stars of the show. Once again, the gadgets. Every single tool was disguised as something you'd find in a Claire's. Lipstick lasers, hairdryer blasters, boots with built-in jet propulsion, compact mirrors that doubled as communicators. They were out here serving looks and serving justice at the same time. And then you had Jerry, come on, iconic, the most casually reckless boss in TV history. This man would yank them through a trapdoor in the middle of the mall. Jerry would brief them on some world-ending crisis like, hey girls, N.O.S.T.A.L.G.I.A stopped someone from melting Antarctica. Also, remember, don't be late to chemistry class. Each spy had their own vibe. Sam was the smart one, the logical, tech-savvy, always carrying the mission. Clover was the fashion-obsessed, boy-crazed one, but low-key could throw hands when needed. And Alex was the sporty, energetic wild card, loyal, brave, and down for anything. The trio had real chemistry, and even though the show leaned into the girly aesthetics, Totally Spies was never really just a girl show. It was fun, flashy, and full of spy chaos. The villains were extra, the stakes were insane, and the animation was peak early 2000s neon. Watching it now, yeah, it's wild. The fashion is unhinged, the pacing is pure cartoon crack, and Jerry should probably be investigated. But as a kid, the show felt like a sugar rush and a secret agent briefing at the same time. Totally Spies made us believe that you could save the world and still have time to hit the food court. Looking back, the early 2000s were a golden age for kid spies, and not just because of the gadgets. Okay, mostly because of the gadgets. But because these stories made being a kid feel powerful, whether it was the chaotic family teamwork in Spy Kids, the solo cool factor of Agent Cody Banks, the rebel force of Kids Next Door, or the fashion-filled missions of Totally Spies, they all had one thing in common. They told us that even if you're small, even if you're a kid, you can make a difference. You don't need a license to drive, just a modified scooter that shot gumballs. You didn't need to be an adult to be brave. You just needed a squad, a treehouse, and some duct tape. These shows and movies were goofy, over the top, low budget chaos, and we loved every second of it. Sure, they don't hold up today. Okay, some of them do hold up today. Spy Kids 3 looks like it was rendered on a toaster. Agent Cody Banks 2 had a bagpipe fight, and Totally Spies villains were literally turning people into mimes. But back then, it was everything. They made us imagine more, build more, believe that our backyard could be a secret base, that our school lunchboxes were hiding a grappling hook, that the world was bigger, crazier, and way more fun than it looked. So if you were ever number 11 or dreamed of getting recruited by a trench coat wearing agent during recess, this one's for you. Childhood was wild, and honestly, we were all a little cooler when we thought we were on a mission. If you liked this video, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, still leave a comment. Please subscribe, and please watch my other videos. We got 2 videos here. You can watch either one of them. Let me know. And if you want to subscribe, you can do that here as well. All right.